is?
Backpack coffee, definitely.
Backpack coffee. This is
Uh-huh.
the Pro 19 liter. God, 19 liters. That's a fair amount. That's like 5 cups of coffee for me. That one's up to
Yeah.
610 euros.
Oh, so you're actually
It's-
looking up the backpack coffee, like
yeah.
for real? Okay.
Well, because
This is how we pregame on Beyond Quest with Reck, just talking about backpack coffee. Thanks for joining, everybody.
this is you can also get a 15-liter one. So 30 liters total.
That's a lot of. I mean, that's coffee to share, hopefully, or your
Well, that would be the
kidneys.
idea.
Yeah.
It would seem very cruel to just walk around with a backpack of coffee and you dispense it
share.
fresh to yourself and you're like, hey, fuckers. Wouldn't you love to be me?
Yeah.
Somebody
The
call
only
me.
panelist with coffee.
With like sitting in this like huge chair. It's like, no, I have to have a stool because I have 19 liters of coffee on my back.
Just run into the restroom all day.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
As you spend the back half of the day just sitting in the bathroom stall, still drinking the coffee.
Welcome to Beyond Quest with Reck, you guys. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Doug. Thanks for joining. we lost Matt.
Yeah, in the back.
Oh, there we go.
There we go, Matt. Matt's like, too much coffee.
Okay, so just so you know, 19 liters of brewed coffee weighs about 42 pounds.
I was going to say, that would be like, yeah.
So probably that plus the machine, you're looking at a solid 55 pounds to start your day.
Mm-hmm. That's like you got to go to the gym to work up to carrying that around.
Yeah. I have a treadmill. I could start.
Well, thanks everybody for joining tonight. This is a first for Beyond Quest. We've got 2 guests today, Eric and Matt. So thanks so much for joining me too.
Of course. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Jordan Con with both of you are panelists on the Lit RPG track for Jordan Con.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I've been a fan of yours for a long time. I think I mowed through the first like 8 or 9 books of The Good Guys a couple years ago. Like, you've got 16 books out in the series. I was like checking before the podcast, and I was like, I got some books to catch up on. Yeah,
it just
really
keeps
excited.
going.
Yeah, it does. And the bad guys are out as well. I think
Mhm.
11 in that. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Good Guys, I listened to it. Neil Helliger is your narrator.
Just kills it. He's amazing.
He is, yeah. And Matt, I just finished reading the first book in Monster Tamers Academy, which you wrote with Robin Weidman, right? Who's
Yep.
also going to be at Jordan Con. So excited to meet him. And you had Marissa and Alex narrate it as a duet, which is cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got to talk to Alex a couple weeks ago, and the fact that they're both in the studio narrating at the same time with each other it just makes the audio just that much better. So
yeah, I wondered about that. I didn't know their process. That's cool.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, he and Marissa narrated Battle Bards by Rachel and Aoife and Robin. So yeah, good audio.
Very cool.
And I love me some Academy books. I think I've read like Rift Warden and like Brian's stuff and like what's the other one? I don't know, but it was just this is a good one, and you've got 5 books already out in the last year, so there's a lot of books to dig into on Monster Tamers Academy. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, and Doug is commenting on the heavy ruck for your 42-pound coffee dispenser.
It's worth it.
I'm just saying, if there's another fire drill at one of these cons, we may need that sort of support.
Right? Imagine how nice it would be if there's somebody putting out hot cups of coffee. Although it was hot as balls, even at that late at night.
That's true. Yeah. The 8-9 a.m. Panels the next day though would have been nice.
It was tough. Hey, Gary.
Well, let's talk about first the basics. How would you like to be addressed? Matt, let's start with you. Is it Matt, Matthew, Archtamer? How do you want people to come up to you at a con?
So Matt's fine. If someone actually did call me Archtamer, I'd probably
Giggle.
just
Tee.
not realize it was me at first, and then I would finally realize and be like, all right, I gotta.
You got a fan.
They read the book, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you heard the memo. We've got to address Matt as Archtamer, Matt at the con. Yeah.
Archtamer.
Yep. How about you, Eric? Would you like to be addressed Mr. Good Guy, Mr. Bad Guy, Eric?
I think most of the time when I'm at cons, people just call me Gary. So if you do see me there, you could call me Gary if you want.
Okay. All right. We'll call you Gary at the con.
Perfect.
There's going to be a bunch of confused fans. It'll be grand.
I mean, when I was at Lit RPG Con, they actually printed my badge up as Gary.
Did they?
Yeah, they gave me 2 badges, one for Eric and one for Gary.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Gotta love it when you get the running jokes going with the convention organizers.
Absolutely. And
right, Gary's win. That's right, Gary Bradley.
Yeah. At Geneva, if nothing else, like Geneva knows how to do a running joke for years and years. Yeah. Well, we're talking about JordanCon tonight. Have either one of you been to JordanCon before?
Yeah, I was there last year.
Yeah, I've been the past 2 years just as an attendee, and this will be my second year having a short story in their annual anthology. So that's kind of cool.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, that's awesome. I have not been, so this is going to be, I'm going to just like get all the information, all the good information out of the two of you tonight.
It's the chillest con I've ever been to.
Really?
It's just, yeah, like everybody. I will bear in mind, like as the RPG track at JordanCon, we are like the stepchild friend who's no one's really sure why they're there at the dinner table, but they're all super happy you came. They just don't necessarily have time for you.
We're the friend of a friend that got invited to Thanksgiving.
Everyone was super nice, and as soon as they found out I wasn't there as a Wheel of Time devotee, they just gave me the nicest smiles and stopped asking me questions about Rand al'Thor.
Yeah. Have either one of you read Wheel of Time? Are you Wheel of Time aficionados at all?
I got through 4 or 5 books of it before I just ran out of steam.
Yeah, I actually hadn't read it until my first year at JordanCon, and I was like, I need to read this book so that I know how to like fit in and like I actually can speak the talk, And well, I read the first book before that one, and then I binge read the entire series after that, and I really loved the first 4 books and the last 3 books, and everything in between was kind of
the middle books
slow.
Look, I am so old that I was actually reading them before they were all out. So because it was one of those series that hadn't finished yet, I was like, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
It was probably right around the time that the last Game of Thrones book came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I read them like high school, and they weren't all out. And then I like reread the first 3 books like a half a dozen times, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait. Gonna wait. Yeah. Well, Dennis, I'm excited you're coming to JordanCon too. We're gonna be newbies together. What historically for the two of you has been your favorite part of JordanCon, or what are you looking forward to the most?
I'll let Matt go first. He's been there more.
So for me, hanging with authors is probably the highlight for me. I haven't really talked to any readers that knew who I was, but the authors know who I am. So kind of feels like a vacation going to cons for me, because you have other people that you can actually like talk to that know what it's like to write all day and then finish a book and then just do it all over again and again. And it's just nice being able to just hang with people who speak the talk and you talk nerd stuff with, and you don't get weird looks.
You don't have to explain. quite as much. Yeah. I, the I imagine at JordanCon we have to do a little bit more explaining of what is lit RPG from lit
Yeah.
RPG Con. Yeah. Are they used to us yet? Has that improved as lit RPG's been at JordanCon?
I mean, I think it's only been 3 years, or this will be the 3rd year total, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. So as far as I know, last year they kind of messed up the schedule a little bit because I think they didn't do the what is lit RPG until like middle of the day, Saturday, wherein it should probably be like the first thing on the lit RPG track.
It should probably be part of the opening ceremonies of like, here's a Jordan, blah 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 blah, and oh FYI,
Yeah,
this
just
is
so you know,
this is
those
what
weirdos.
this is our extra at Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's a little
the
nerdy.
ones that are dressed inappropriately here.
Yeah. So Eric, what for you is the thing you're looking forward to the most?
I think Matt, sorry, Arch Tamer, just really hit it on the head there because it is I think for all the authors, while it's really nice to go out and interact with the readers, the biggest thing is just being able to be around the other authors for a little bit because that is, it's the only water cooler time we have. It's the only time that we are around our essentially who are our coworkers. And because Lit RPG has always been such a tight network, it is this kind of lovely co-opetition moment where we get to like celebrate the wins that we've had over the past year and recharge our batteries. You always come away just excited at what we get to do for a living. But at the same time, like I love being able to have moments with readers where I can like share details of the books, or I can, get ideas. Yeah, it's difficult to like parse which one of those I look forward to more. It's probably the writers, just because I do wind up having a lot more reader interactions across the year. But it's a really close 1 and 2 there.
Mm-hmm.
And I too am jelly that I don't get to go synchronized swimming, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
I really hope your synchronized swimming is going swimmingly.
Yeah. Gary, your synchronized swimming adventures need to happen in Kansas City again so we can hang out because, yeah.
Also, when is the Lit RPG synchronized swimming book coming out?
I want to know when that's coming out too, because that would be a fantastic premise. Yeah. All right. So, Matt, you don't know this about me, but I actually have taught fencing for over a decade.
Really?
So,
That's awesome.
in our preamble to the podcast tonight, you mentioned like a competition or like a game or something that's played at Jordan Con called Blade Master. So tell us what Blade Master is, because I'm very interested in this, although it might be a little cheating for me to play.
So I think it's usually on Saturday, like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning maybe. And everyone just signs up in this kind of like one of the bigger rooms. I think it's like it's one of the big conference rooms, but they like combine it or shrink it or whatever for this. And you just sign up. It's free. It's like a kind of like March Madness, but instead of like people playing basketball, you're fighting each other with giant foam swords. Most everyone is just amateurs, but there are a few that are like you just when you watch them, you're like they took some martial arts because
they
the
know
footwork and the movements. Yeah. It's really fun though. I think it's like single elimination, and everyone just like kind of. It's not too big either. Like I guess people just don't. Either they're not up yet, or they just don't know about it. But it's fun.
I mean, what I'm hearing is that we need to get like a Lit RPG contingent and like take over Blade Master. Eric, are you game?
No, that seems way too early for me. But I fully support you going and ripping shit up. In fact, if you are going to actually join in, I will drag my ass out of bed at 9 a.m. to be there to cheer.
We need to get Aaron Ampersand. Aaron Ampersand and I fenced each other in college, so we need Aaron on our Lit RPG pseudo team, and Brian is also a fencer. We could
I
get
know he
Brian.
was like in the top like 20 Irish fencers.
Yeah. So we've got some talent. We just need to. I think we just need to dominate. Yeah, we need to dominate Blade Master. Matt, look what you've started.
And then Brian is going to be at JordanCon this year.
Yeah,
So
he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can do this, you guys.
It's happening.
And I mean, you can cheer for us, Eric, if you don't want to get whacked.
Yeah.
I will say that they also do a spear fighting competition too. It's just a giant foam spear. So if you get out of one, like in the first round, at least you're
Just
guaranteed
go over to the other one. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same concept, but
yeah. Rachel was in here with us. I don't know if she still is, but Rachel, are you game for sword fighting? I think this is something you could also be good at. So Eric, you mentioned something kind of offhand about how we're not dressed like everybody else in the. Can you explain what that means?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been to a con before, right? Everyone dresses up as their favorite characters, and so that means they're all Wheel of Time based, whether it's book or television show, except for the RPG group, who look like our usual schlubs.
We're all in like bathrobes.
Filthy casuals. Man, that would be amazing. We all show up in Discount Dan blue bathrobes. Someday.
Yeah,
someday I will get my bathrobe.
Bathrobes and knee pads and
Crocs.
That's right.
Made out of croc.
And
giant coffee backpacks.
Yeah, and giant coffee backpacks.
Oh, it is a red robe. No, I want a blue one. I don't want to be Discount Dan. I'm going to be Discount Gary.
You're going to be Timo Discount Dan. Yeah.
Blue plate special Dan.
That's right. Okay, if you had a fan cosplay from one of your books, what would you expect, or what would you want somebody to dress up as?
I mean, ideally the dwarf chair.
That would be a little difficult to pull off, but yeah.
Well, I know, but what else is there? Everything else is just kind of rote fantasy stuff.
Yeah. Okay, dwarf chair. How about you, Matt?
I'd say V Dirk's Bonded Monster. I want to see a bat like
a big, the whole costume. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it. Yeah. If you're in the chat, tell me what is your cosplay idea for Lit RPG Con or JordanCon? Like what cosplay do you want to see? I think we need to push our fans on this a little bit, because I'm at Lit RPG Con. We had a couple bathrobes walking around and a couple Carls. We need more Lit RPG cosplay. I'm pushing for it.
I think we just have to give it time.
Yeah. We've got a couple cosplayers that are starting to like pop in, and we had like the barmaids, which was incredible. Yeah. So panels went out this last week. I think we found out on Monday-ish. And I've got a panel I'm dreading a little bit, but how about you two? Do you have any panels that you're looking forward to? Any that you're dreading? I talked to a couple of people who like rejected a couple of their panels because they were on Wheel of Time panels that they didn't understand. Yeah, what is your panel situation look?
I mean, mostly okay. I'm not super excited for gaming numbers. A discussion on the effects of the stats and other numbers in Lit RPG, because I'm just not that crunchy of a writer.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I am most looking forward to Roll for Plot, where you build the story there. That's my jam. I would do that. That's what I do every day.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
So Eric just stole my panel I'm looking forward to, the Roll for Plot.
Dude, are you on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making an academy.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's going to be called Academy Quest.
Yeah,
we can make it work.
How about on the other side? Is there any that you're kind of dreading, Matt?
No, I'm not really dreading one. I was kind of surprised by one. It was called New Readers versus Veteran Fans. I'm not dreading it. I'm just kind of. I think it's kind of
Curious.
cool because I do kind of take that into account when I'm writing, or when I was writing Monster Tamer Academy. I wanted it to be accessible for like newcomers to lit RPG, meaning I didn't want it to be too crunchy, too much numbers based with spreadsheets. But I think it's important to write to both segments or whatever. Like I had a message from a reader the other day saying book one was the first book he's like ever read, and he's wanting to read, like he's looking into reading like fantasy books now. I was like, books are pretty powerful, so it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think especially for first books in a series, you kind of have a duty to make it as accessible as possible within reason. But I think that's the one you really need to be aware of. And the deeper you get into a series, the less you need to be concerned. It's like, once you're like 10 books in, you got to figure either you're coming in accepting that you're not going to know a bunch, or you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think there's also, we've got this flux of new readers coming into the genre from some of the more mainstream successes we're starting to have with DCC and He Who Fights and Tao's series. And I think it's difficult when you hit him with numbers right away. Like my mother-in-law is reading Stumbling Up, and she's struggling with brackets, just the brackets, and I don't have math.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't, and it's like, yeah.
Dude, I am stumbling with brackets just writing them. Because it's just like trying to remember. I got to be like, oh, nope, it's not a parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'm just a terrible typer.
For me, it's like, do I always capitalize every ability, or do some abilities not get capitalized? And
thank God I have a live-in editor.
Yeah.
That makes it so much easier.
I made a style guide for myself, but I'm like,
nerd.
Should I reference it?
Nerd.
What's funny is I made it and then I never open it up and like look at what I wrote.
That's like double level nerddom.
Yeah. I mean,
like I made something and then
yeah. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right. We got a couple comments. Yeah, Doug saying great job hooking another person into reading. I mean, that's amazing just by itself. Gary is saying that he's talked to quite a few people into reading lit RPG. I mean, Gary is like an evangelist for lit RPG, so yeah, definitely should be proud of it, Gary. He said he buys books for patients that come to him as a doctor to get them into it. But like, I will treat that boil if you read. My favorite book. I love it, Gary.
Please tell me that the first book you buy, everyone, is Battlefield Surgeon. What is it?
Oh, Battlefield Surgeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiju. Yeah.
Oh God. God.
Yeah.
It's the most painful book I've read in a long time.
Yeah, Gary. So tell us, what is the first book? What is the book that you buy, people? Rachel's actually saying that she's on that panel with you guys. The Build Your.
Nice.
The Build-A-Bear workshop.
The Build-A-Bear workshop. I'm gonna come watch it because you guys are gonna be a hoot.
Build-A-Bear Academy.
Yes, Build-A-Bear Academy. That's what we're calling it. We're calling it Build-A-Bear Academy. It's gonna be bear folk and academy stories.
He's saying that he does get kaiju for them. I'm not sure I believe it, but we'll see. Okay. In both of you you've been to a few cons in your career. Is there any memorable panel moments that you've participated in or witnessed that,
I mean, there's
either gone great or just train wreck? Either way.
There was the absolute train wreck that was last year's. What did they call it? I can't even remember. It was the Fuck, Marry, Kill that they decided to put on in the biggest ballroom at noon on the first day. And oh my, I have not been where so many
Were
just
you in that
everybody.
panel or were
I
you
was
watching?
on the panel.
Okay.
Next, I was in between Jez and Matt, and Jez was like fuming about it. Matt just kind of blew it off, and I thought it was just ridiculous. I kind of felt it was poorly timed, in particular, just because that kind of needs to be a late night thing. But that time of day, everyone's still sober. Everyone's hungry because it was at lunchtime. It's the first day. You don't know half these people, and you're just like, yeah, oof.
That
Yeah,
was lit
some
RPG.
people
Yeah,
did. Some people
yeah.
refused to
Some people
answer.
refused. I remember KT was like,
I mean, it was just
like
it was such a bad idea. I was like, man, how did they think that one was going to be okay? I'm still blown away that was chosen.
Yeah. How about you, Matt? Any amazing or train wreck panels you've witnessed?
Yeah, so last year at JordanCon, so there was this. I'm trying to make sure I get this right.
With you.
So there's this panel that all I knew about it was it had a bunch of narrators on, and they were all RPG narrators. And I was like, yeah, everyone loves narrators. And it was at 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, that's kind of late, but it's I didn't have anything else to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there was like a weird description on the schedule, and it was like Pigeon Academy romance panel thing. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I'm going to see this.
Neil told me about that one.
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in such a short period of time. It was like a visual novel video game that the moderator played, and the narrators were like, so like the story was like there's one female human left in the world, and there's like a bunch of male pigeons at this academy. For some reason, this girl is at this academy with these pigeons, and it's like the audience had to like choose the interactions, and the narrators did a fine job.
That sounds wild.
Fine.
That sounds wild. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically the train wreck panels either are late at night or should be late at night, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Gary, were you at that panel? All right. Do either of you prepare for a con or for your panels? And if so, what is your process?
No comment. I mean, yeah, I think you have to prepare to at least, certainly for the cons. I will spend usually the month before prepping like materials and making sure that I have stuff to give out to people and know at least kind of like what's going on in my production schedule, so that I know where I can be like, oh yeah, these books are coming out when, here and there. I talk with my editor, and then she yells at me and says I'm not allowed to sign any contracts or make any deals while I'm out. And yeah, those are the things that I mainly do.
Do you have like a mantra like "let's not sign paperwork"?
Yes. It's like I am not allowed to promise anything to anyone. It's like I have to finish at least one story before I take on new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I have been wondering if like my memory problems of late are stemming from having too many like ongoing stories I'm keeping in my head.
You've got a few, yeah. All right, Matt. How about you? What's your pre-con process?
So I'm still pretty new at this. So I've never sold or given away books. Last year I did make some business cards, and Robin made some bookmarks. So that's kind of like my only preparation. Other than packing, I really I only take 2 bags to cons. So I have compression cubes or packing cubes. So the night before, I'm like rolling up all of my clothes as efficiently as possible and packing them in.
So is it? Are you packing a lot of clothes, or are you like taking stuff back? Like, what's the? I mean, 2 bags is for
I generally wear what I use. I usually plan it out pretty good. I mean, it's a
you're
carry-on bag and a
cosplaying.
personal item.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cosplay.
Yeah.
He
It's
doesn't
the
like
big,
to have
It's the
he-
big V wings. Yeah.
right. He needs to have a fresh outfit for every meal.
Yeah.
That's how archtamers roll, right? Like
That's right. Yeah.
I know.
Got a couple monsters in your backpack. Yeah, I mean, you gotta
Exactly.
compress them, right? Yeah.
Pocket monsters. Wait,
Pocket
no.
monsters.
No.
Well, he's got the little stones.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Affinity stones. Yeah.
Affinity stones. That's right. Yeah.
Gary, yes,
Yeah.
I did have a fake paperwork / customs forms at Lit RPG Con. I'll probably have them at Jordan Con too.
Is that what you had Gary sign?
Yeah, they're like these things where you can fill it out, and when I need a random character, I just pull a paper from the stack, and there's like somebody's name, and I can like send them an email and say, "Hey, you've been put into the universe in this book."
Oh, that's cool.
So, and it's a good way to like, it's a fan interaction, and they get it's a what is it, in duplicate, so it's a carbon copy. So I keep one form and I hand them their copy, and so it has my signature, and there's like that moment of where I can like interact with the reader, and I get their email address.
That's smart. That's a good way to build email list. Yeah.
So I'll have that, and then I'll have my trading cards, and then I usually have like stickers and stuff. I tend not to sell books at these things just because I don't have the social battery available to do that as well as all the other stuff.
Yeah. So Matt, so you've got a suitcase and a carry-on. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a carry-on and a personal item.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes sense. I was thinking like you've got 2 checked bags, and I'm like,
no, I don't do.
What am I not bringing to cons that I should?
Personal item.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Do you? So you said you're gonna have bookmarks this year?
Yeah, I'll have bookmarks. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Be good. Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm coming just for that, just for the Archtamer bookmark.
Yeah. So I'm driving to JordanCon, and a couple friends and I actually got a table to sell, which I'm not sure how excited I am by that, but give it a try. Yeah. I don't know. There is something about pitching your book like 100 times to people that gets your pitch a lot better. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I know myself, and I don't have that. I would, the middle of the second day, I'd be like, all right, I haven't sold a single book. I'm out here.
Yeah, that's legit. That is like, Eric's like, your worst fear when you have a table at a con. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fun. Public embarrassment.
Wahaha. So I've heard one rumor from a couple of different places about a con suite, and Matt, like you mentioned it in our kind of preamble here, that there's actually a con suite that has like decent food at JordanCon.
Yeah, so it's usually like a hotel suite somewhere up on one of the upper floors or middle floors, I don't know, in the hotel. They have like free like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I think, every day, all day. So if you're ever hungry, you need that. They also have like all kinds of like snacks and water bottles. I think soft drinks probably. I think they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner too, but it like maybe one of them might be like a hot dog and chips and something. But they had some really good vegetarian options. Past couple of years, I stop in if I don't have anything else going on, or
that's cool. Is that a thing that cons normally do? I honestly, I mean, I've been to Dragon Con, and Dragon Con could care, like they're like fend for yourself. It's the Hunger Games at Dragon Con, but it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, maybe it's, I don't know, like I think Eric was saying, like the people there are just so nice. I don't know if it's Atlanta.
It's
people.
I don't know. They're just, there's just such a welcoming feeling. and it is it's like we don't belong there, right? Like we are. This is a niche of a niche, right? So these are not just fantasy readers. These are people celebrating the works of Robert Jordan. And
Mhm.
as much as they don't want to admit it, it's really just the wheel of time because Neil and I did a little experimentation. That sounds really bad. Neil and I chose
Hey, you and
to
Neil can
say
experiment all you want.
that our favorite Robert Jordan books, like we were there because of his Conan stuff, because some of his
Yeah, yeah,
first stuff was Conan the Barbarian
yeah.
stories, and you would be amazed. It was either people were mad at us for saying that, or they didn't know that Robert Jordan had written those
Written
books.
Conan. Yeah.
It was not that, and so the fact like that here's now a subgenre that is not attached to Robert Jordan or the Wheel of Time, and they are completely happy with us being there. Like it's just such a wonderful group of people.
Yeah.
I truly enjoy it, and I would love it if it could get to the point where it's a legitimate second lit RPG conventions stop, especially because I don't think Dragon Con is going to be good for us long term. No.
No, the Dragon Con footprint for lit RPG seems to be shrinking. Yeah.
And I have heard Dragon Steel might be another great one.
That's Brandon Sanderson's other one, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's going to be in December in Salt Lake City. I think I'm going to try to go to that one this year.
Okay. Yeah. Might be a good alternative. Yeah. Yeah, I think that maybe I don't know if our readers know or not, but like lit RPG is not always welcome in fantasy and sci-fi spaces. It's cool to just have like open arms at a con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other wild rumors you want to start about Jordan Con?
Wild rumor start. I mean, I probably that the pigeon thing's going to be with real pigeons this year.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard about the
That's-
pigeon skit a couple times, so yeah,
That's going to be where the beast taming is happening,
that's
right? Arch tamer, you're handling it.
Maybe.
that's what the extra suitcase is for.
That's right.
Compressed pigeons.
It's all the pigeon corpses and parts he's got to bring home after the con.
That's right. You just hand it off to a necromancer.
Mm-hmm. Reduce, reuse, recycle, reanimate.
That's right. How about you, Matt? Any wild rumors you want to start about Jordan Con?
No, I don't start rumors.
Oh,
No, he ends them.
dun, dun, dun. He's like, no pigeons are going to survive Jordan
There
Con.
are no pigeons. You heard it here first.
That's right.
No pigeons.
All right. If you're in the audience, feel free to ask us some questions. We've kind of hit the halfway point. So if you've got any questions about Jordan Con or about either of the books, we're going to flip over a little bit to some writing questions.
Or pigeons.
Pigeon questions. We can try to, dispel any rumors about pigeons. But let's flip over to writing. So Eric, I'm going to talk to you first. You've got several successful long series. We were talking before the start of that, like The Good Guys has like 16 books in it, and Bad Guys is 11.
Mm-hmm.
And you only started writing these in like 2019. I think the question is, how do you sustain that kind of output without burning out? Because I think in lit RPG in general, I think we've got a lot of authors that are just
poorly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I couldn't, like I have slowed down considerably since then. And some of that is just, life stuff, not necessarily straight burning out, but I have been kind of dealing with burnout for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But like we had a second kid, moved across the country, all sorts of kind of big life events got in the way of that. And I think you do have to develop some pretty serious routines that you follow and kind of put rules and guidelines on how you work, because there is such a pull from the readers and from an author's perspective, the desire to fulfill their wants for entertainment, that you can often lose yourself to that. And you're just like constantly pushing to try to get out what you believe is sufficient amount of content. And it is, and this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that it seems to be a relatively bottomless pit of desire, and you just kind of have to pace yourself, because it is. You can sprint it if you want, but you're not going to be able to go the distance. You just have to find the methods and the routines that allow you to do it safely.
Yeah. Matt, you also have a pretty impressive release in the last year. You've released 5 books in the Monster Tamer Academy, which is like also like, dang. In some respects, I think, the lit RPG authors do this to ourselves because everybody's releasing fast. So there's like pressure from the fans, but there's also pressure from each other. Like, I talked to Jay earlier this year, or earlier this week, and he also, he's looking tired, right? Of just, his pace is also kind of crazy. But Matt, do you have advice? Like, how are you keeping up?
So yeah, burnout is real. Like you can really, kind of like Eric was saying, you got to find a way to make it work, to balance it out, no matter what the expectations are. I keep saying I'm going to take like a vacation, like a real vacation after I finish a book. I keep saying I'm going to celebrate when I finish a book, but I usually just start the next one. So I guess I need to try to actually take the vacation.
Dude, I tried my hardest to take an actual vacation this year where I didn't bring any work. I wasn't trying to work, and second day in, I just pulled out a notebook and was just going to town. The only thing I could keep myself from doing was working on the project that I was supposed to be working on. I spent the whole week just writing out different story ideas and building different worlds, but I can't stop. I have a problem.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel like, especially if you're working on a project and you're not gonna actually write what you're like trying to get out of your head. Sometimes it's cathartic just to even if it's like a whole day or most of a day, if you just like are in a different story world, even if you never write it, I think that kind of helps relieve some of the itch or the burnout, fatigue, I do that sometimes. I just have this awesome idea. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get to this for like at least 2 years.
Yeah.
But it feels good to get it down, it's
I hear that. I have folders with, essentially the stories are ready to go. I just have no time to actually get to them, or like, half finished worlds, or like I'm surrounded by piles of paper, of maps and like notes and just random shit just everywhere. So how do I do it? How do I clearly I'm not mentally competent any longer. That's gone out the window.
I like how you're like, my vacation from writing is thinking about a different story idea.
Listen, I tried.
Taking a day off and then thinking about a whole different world. Yeah.
Granted, I did take one of those and sell it, so that was helpful.
Yeah. Is that why you're not allowed to sign paperwork at cons?
No, that was the first time I did this.
Yeah.
This was the we need money now. Go and get it thing. So it was nice that I had these where it's like, hey, you guys are looking for books. Do you want one of these? And she was like, that one. I was like, nice. Don't pick that one.
That's always how it is, right? You put up a fan poll and you're like, which bonus chapter do you want? And they always pick the one that.
It's like, no, I don't want to write about fisting pigeons.
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of fan questions coming in. So Doug wants to know, is there one character that you write that lifts you up when you write their voice? That is just, you're struggling with burnout and you're like, I'm going to go write about Ooh.
I would say, for me, at least in the guys' world, writing the kobolds, it generally does that for me because they are so literal and not quite as intelligent as they think they are, or they are. So it's just always fun to just start them down like something stupid. Like I know that whatever their storylines are typically, even if they are somewhat dark, they will be fun to write.
Hmm.
So I would say that.
Yeah. How about you, Matt? Is there a particular character?
So if I try to pick a particular one from Monster Tamer Academy, maybe V, the bonded monster. He, I don't really want to spoil anything, but he does like talk like in the series. Uh, like that's a pretty big part of the banter and stuff as the series goes on. And he's always like he loves blueberries, and like he always finds a way to work blueberries into like when everything's like the darkest moment, or just any time, like he's always going on about blueberries. So probably probably V. But I will say, like, when I write my characters now, when I write scenes, I hear the narrators like saying the word or saying the lines, so that helps me. Like, it puts a smile on my face because I get to hear the narrators' voices as I'm typing. So
Hmm. Has that changed how you write the characters after you got the narration in your head? Have you like written to your narrators more?
I'll say that I have, yeah. Like there's certain characters like I'm like this scene really isn't necessary. Like it's not like padding, but like at a lunch scene I might have some of the like the Scooby Gang or whatever like just talking just because I want to hear like the narrators just go back and forth with their natural like chemistry, and also in book 4 I start adding some monsters that like talk, not talk, but like with monster sounds. Like there's a bird that makes a cooing sound, and it
Like like a
it turned
pigeon?
out really good. The way the narrators did it, I just love it. So I'm trying to give them more monsters to voice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome. That's fun. How about you, Eric? Is there
No, I think because I was writing for so long before I got to the point where I had books being narrated
mhm.
that it's just not it's not part of the process. And typically I think because I've always I've never done the simultaneous release. So everything is so far done on my end by the time it comes out. So the chance for me to hear it is so far beyond from when I like was actually physically writing the book. It just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to do that. In fact, Neil and I have disagreements over how certain words are pronounced. And I just never bring it up in public because, his stuff is technically the canon pronunciation of things.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever had you pronounce something in your panel and somebody's like, "No, that's wrong."
Oh yeah, Neil and I have had it out at JordanCon last year. We actually
Yeah,
yelled at each other about the pronunciation of something.
that's funny.
You'll have to
Eh,
look it up.
dun, dun, dun. We'll have to find it. We'll have to go on a hunt. Well, both Gary and Doug are saying that cons for them is the vacation therapy for both of them, and that Gary's saying that he's got a pretty high stress job and that he staves off burnout by reading our books.
Oh,
It's
thanks,
kind of a
Gary.
nice little. Yeah, thanks, Gary. All right. Uh, Plotters or pantsers? Eric, you're giving me pantser energy.
I'm more of a plantser
Okay.
where I usually so the way that it mostly works is I have a like for the good guys, I have an idea of like the really big arc, right? So I
Mhm.
know where the whole shebang ends. And
Yeah.
I know most of
All
the
87 books.
all 87 books. And I have like most of the smaller arcs within there reasonably planned out. But then once it gets to each book, I don't necessarily have everything concretely. I don't think that's a word. whatever. I'm not a professional.
It's not set in
Anyways,
stone.
but then when I'm in the midst of writing it, I will typically outline a couple chapters ahead. And so I'll have like a piece of paper that'll have like the next 12 chapters on it. And I'll, fill those up. And once I get closer to that end of those chapters, I sit down and I'll like figure it out again for the next few chapters. And as I get closer to the end, I will try to like write to where I have the end. And once I have the end, like by outline, like there's that immense feeling of relief. Like there's the end. It's just, I just got to get to there. And that's usually how I'll do a lot of work with world building prior to where I know everything that could possibly happen. So I build the big sand box and then I go play in it. So I think sometimes pantsers don't even like do the world building as strong, but I tend to try to make the worlds as believable that they could be existing whether or not you were reading a book or a story happening in there. Like things would be going on. I try to make sure that there's other stuff always happening that can also occasionally affect the characters where, weather events can come in and change what would be, otherwise how the plot is functioning here. Stuff like that.
No, that's good. That makes sense. How about for you, Matt? Because you write with Robin, right? So tell me about, are you pantser or plotter? How detailed is your planning?
So I like to think I'm a pretty practical guy, and plotting or outlining seems like the most practical thing for a practical guy to do, but it doesn't really work for me too well. I guess part of the joy is like discovering the story, and you can do that while outlining, but if you discover it while outlining, it's kind of hard to it kind of feels like you're making yourself write the story, in my opinion, or my experience. To varying degrees, some stories I'm sure would lend themselves better to outlining if you had the right idea. So I kind of do a little of both. My process keeps evolving with each book. So like right now I'm at the point where I have like 4 or 5 main tent points or tent poles, things that I know, big things that are going to happen. And then I plan a mini arc for each to get me to each plot point. So I try to stick to the mini arcs, and that builds me a story.
Yeah, I tend to think of my books very often in terms of episodic television. So where like I have the hook at the start where it's get something to hook the reader in, and then you have 4 acts, and then you have the thing that hooks them to the next book.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think of it as like pantsing with milestones. I've got milestones. There's like beats that I know what they are and I need to hit, but I have the same problem you do, Matt, where like if I plan it out too much, then like whatever itch I have in my brain to do it is gone. It's like
I think the more that you write, the more of an instinctual thing it becomes, where you just have done it enough that you just start to feel this is what happens now. This is what I've had these sequence of events would lead to this naturally, and
and now it's time for a Cobalt chapter.
Exactly, always.
We need we need blueberry pancakes. I love that blueberry pancake scene in Monster Tamer Enemy where Dirk burns the pancakes and he gets upset. I'm glad you keep going with the blueberry joke.
Yeah, and I actually eat blueberries every morning now. Like I didn't start doing that till after I started writing V, but they're frozen. Like I buy frozen blueberries by the bulk, and I'll have them with my eggs in the morning.
Yeah, you got to move to Maine, man. This is the home of blueberries. It's unbelievable how many blueberries there are here.
You got some trees out in your yard, blueberry trees.
Well, they're bushes, but yeah,
bushes, yeah.
yeah, and they're not like it's not like I didn't plant them or anything. They're just wild blueberries, like
nice
all over the place.
Nice.
V would love Maine then.
Yeah,
My daughter calls them bloobs.
Sounds like we need a vacation to Maine for blueberries in Matt's future.
Hey man, it's where most of you probably eating Maine blueberries.
Yeah. Okay, so Gary's pointing out that he is actually going to Maine after Lit RPG Con, so you're gonna have to get blueberries.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's mainly because I live there, but
yeah. Doug wants to know, and this is actually a really timely question for me. Do you include recaps or to not include recaps as your series progress?
you should. I have not yet. I think that I'm going to begin doing that because it becomes a lot, and the longer you have in between, I think if you're like throwing things out every month, I think that's different. Or if you're doing like Royal Road where you have a continual presence, you don't necessarily need to because you can just, you're assuming the bulk of your readers are going there. But in my case, because it'll be like a year by the time my next Guys book comes out from the last Bad Guys book, I think the Bad Guys is going to be next, then there will be a recap just because I know my readers will have gone quite a while.
Yeah.
What should you do in Maine? A lot of that depends on what you like to do. There's lots of outdoor stuff, but there's lots of eating stuff. And it's also where in Maine you're going. Portland is an unbelievable foodie town for the size of the city because it's a tiny city. And like the number of James Beard Award winners is ridiculous. I don't understand it.
Nice. I need to take my spouse there. All right, Matt, how about you? Recaps or no recaps?
See, I think they're a good idea, especially if you write huge books, and especially if you only write like 1 or 2 books in that series a year. But I still think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
just like a page. Like I wouldn't I'd try to keep it concise. But.
And if you want to see someone that does it really well, look at Matt Denneman's recap in his latest. I haven't read his latest book. The second to most recent one had a fantastic in-character version. So, find a good way to do it. Keep it short. Just give the salient details and then get into the stories. And then make sure, it's easy to skip if somebody doesn't want to read it. So
now, are you recapping the last book or the whole series before that point?
I think it depends. But yeah, Gary, feel free to ask. My wife is going to be at Lit RPG Con as well, and she is much more versed in what to do in Maine. But yeah, I think it depends on the length of your series, how long it's been, and kind of how intricate stuff is. If you're doing slice of life stuff, you probably don't need as much of a recap. But if there's a lot of plot and politics and 1,000 characters, yeah.
I think Matt, you guys need a recap. That's like V8 765.
I was thinking, yeah. He needs a recap it, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my friends used to keep a blog for his dog, and it was just every single day was like, Jack was a good boy today. And that's every single day. But every day he would put it in, Jack was a good boy today. And on, like Bastille Day, it would be in French. And then Jack was a patriotic dog today on July 4th. But yeah, that's what I feel V should do. D had 5 blueberries today. B had 8 blueberries today.
He eats a lot more than that.
Had 5 pounds of blueberries today.
5,000 blueberries today.
It would be funny if he kept exact count of how many blueberries he'd had. And he was very particular. I had this many blueberries and I was sad because it was less than yesterday. Today I had this many blueberries and I was happy because it was more than yesterday, but not as happy as the day before.
Yeah. He's got this closet that he's just got these scritch marks for every 100 blueberries.
What are you doing in there? Nothing. Leave me alone.
I'm seeing it. I can see it.
And then there's the moment, and his claw pulls down that extra bit of plaster. And then he gets a poster of a blueberry, and he starts digging a hole through the wall to find the blueberries.
Yeah. He has a big celebration on his millionth blueberry.
It's called Blue Shank Redemption.
Matt, Monster Tamer Academy, you did as a collaboration with Robin Wendman, and I always think I talked to Rachel and Aoife about this too. Like it's I'm like always mesmerized when people are doing the work with somebody else. Can you talk a little bit about how does that work for you? What's yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I would say it's probably an outlier in terms of how we collaborate.
Mhm.
So basically, I do all the writing, and we talk about the stories up front, uh, especially in the beginning. So I've been trying to write a lit RPG story for a couple years, and like I just couldn't get the perfect story, or I didn't think the mechanics were right, and I was really doubting myself. And so Robin was a friend of a friend, and I knew he wrote with co-authors, and I think it was at a writers conference, maybe, or maybe it was a convention, but he's like, yeah, we should do a series together. Like, do you have any ideas? And I was like, well, I got this idea about what if you had Pokemon, but the tamers also had magic and they could level up along with their monsters. And what if there's an academy that they trained at? And he was like, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Why don't you like write a few chapters and I'll tell you what I think. And that's exactly what I needed at that moment in my life, because like Robin's been publishing books for over 10 years now, like fantasy books. And so I sent him like 15 chapters, and I kind of thought it was trash because it wasn't like on trope exactly all the way. Like I didn't think it was perfect or good enough. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. He's like, this is really good, but we need to fix some things. Like
Yeah.
Dirk, my main character, was a little unlikable. That wasn't my intention. Like I was trying to make him, I think I was trying to make him funny or whatever, but it just wasn't working. And he was like, we need to fix that. And he was really helpful in getting that, like everything
Tuning everything.
to work
Yeah.
better.
More
So
blueberries.
that's
Yeah.
kind of our process.
Nice. Nice. I think I mean that makes a lot of sense. I can see where having that voice, especially as you're getting started. I mean, lit RPG is I keep saying this, it's hard to write. Or it's hard to get started because you got to balance the progression in the system and then also all the character, all the things that you would have to do in a normal story too. So yeah, makes a lot of sense. How about you, Eric? Have you ever done a collab or thought about it?
Yeah, I've thought about it tons of times. I'm not allowed to sign stuff because of because of that. But yeah, I don't have anything formally, but I do have some projects that I'm slowly working with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend and I, wrote a whole book, and I could never get around to fixing it the way that it needed to. So I just gave it back to him for him to keep working on by himself. Um, yeah, I am envious of people who can do it well, just because it seems so nice to have someone else to work on a book with and just be able to bounce ideas back and forth.
I think that's one thing why I like cons. Not when we talked early at the top of the hour about the community and hanging out with people that do the same thing, and you have that moment where you're bouncing ideas. You're like, well, what about this, or whatever it ends up being. As solitary as I am as a writer, just sitting at the keyboard doing my thing, it's a lot better. My ideas are a lot better when I can bounce them off people.
Yeah, I actually am part of a couple of like private offices that meet on Discord, and we'll like have video calls where we are all working. And it's if someone were to come into that video office, it would be incredibly awkward because it's like 4 people ignoring each other on video. But it's remarkably helpful.
Yeah.
And I would say that like finding that was a major sort of turning point in trying to in staving the burnout off. I think I was getting to the point of burnout, and I stumbled across a writer stream where someone was sitting and doing a writing stream. And back when I first started writing full time, I was streaming my own writing on Twitch. But I didn't really do much community interaction. And Mallory Cooper, who writes sci-fi, um, who started streaming, but it was like very interactive. And she wasn't like trying to have people watch her stream. It was like, no, you're supposed to be writing now too. Like you're here to write with me.
Mhm.
We are writing. We're doing writing sprints and we're
Together.
talking about it. And that's what really helped me keep the content coming at a book every 2 months for probably 2 years, was just because there was that stream and being able to go and like have someone who cheers you on, have that little community where on the days when you're not feeling 100%, you have someone there who like pulls you up. And it's just that little bit of friendly competition and that bit of a cheerleadership. And it was phenomenal. And it's one of those where, like, selfishly, I wish she had never stopped, because it was just so good for me. But it was very difficult for her because she also had to run the stream. So like running the stream and writing was always a bit of a challenge for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've thought about dabbling with the online streaming you're writing, but yeah, responding to comments and stuff while writing.
So the way that she did it is so it was very clear rules, right? Like, so you had 20 minutes sprint, 10 minutes recreation time.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that happened in that 20 minutes, you were ignored. Didn't matter what you said. It was just that 10 minutes. Then there was talking and there was all those little things that define a community, like the phrases to denote like how well you did, and like joining the 1,000 or being a thousandaire, like joining the what do you call it, the 700 club, but like all these like how many words you got in that 20-minute time period, and where how you could claim social status and that sort of stuff. It was great. I loved it.
Nice. How about you, Matt? Any tricks for you?
It's kind of like my writing process. It evolves, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't work. Usually if I can get a solid writing block in the morning, I'm good. But if I miss that morning block, it's all mental. Like, you didn't actually like lose any time. You can just start, 2 or 3 hours later. But if I miss my morning block, it's kind of hard. But yeah, I try to write in 3 or 4 blocks at a time, and that's it, spread throughout the day.
Wait, I gotta ask, what keyboard do you write on?
Like, what kind of physical keyboard?
Yeah.
Just
did you wear those keys out?
No, I got so for my shortcut keys, I put some green tape on so that I can find them without looking like the
your macros.
Shift F7, I think, does it brings up your spell check or synonyms or whatever it's called in Microsoft Word, and I use that quite a bit when I'm editing. If I'm like, I need a different word, but
do you write in Microsoft Word?
Yeah, I really like the spell check in Microsoft Word. I feel like it's probably the best out of anything I've used.
This is like we're digging deep into the nerd kingdom here.
Yeah, this is the nerd. Yeah.
But yeah, but this is also like for writers, like for me at least, like I find this stuff fascinating. What's the software you use? What's the hardware you use? What works about it?
I'm curious what your other shortcuts are, so we'll have to come back to that. But go ahead, Eric.
Oh no, I'm happy to listen to these other shortcuts. What are your other shortcuts? Do you also have Control?
Tell us about your shortcuts.
Control C. Oh wait, maybe you need this keyboard.
Is that paste and what is it?
Copy and paste.
Copy paste. Oh.
So is that like connected? Like you have that connected to your?
Yeah, it is a programmed macro pad for copy and paste.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You just don't use Control C, Control V.
I mean, you can. But I don't.
I mean, that's more fun.
This was just a silly thing I bought, but
Yeah.
it works. For copy and paste. If you're doing a lot of copy and pasting, I guess this could be great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I like this Control C and Control V, but I mean,
yeah.
what
clearly,
works.
clearly, I don't use it because it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
But no, I have way too many keyboards. I
Are
will
you a
say, one, I love keyboards. Two, at least I believe that changing your keyboards out a lot keeps your fingers and muscles from working in the exact same way. So even though a lot of other authors I know have had some wrist or arm pain, I've mostly been free from that. And I think that's because I rotate keyboards out constantly.
That's fascinating.
I like that idea because you also like you're keeping your mind stimulated because it's
So
you're not.
I love this one. This is probably one of my favorites.
That's cool looking.
It's so heavy though. And so I'm in the basement of this house and it's an unheated concrete floor. So it's cold as balls in here. That means this, which is metal, is freezing.
Yeah.
And
you're like, it's an ice pack. It's a finger ice pack day. I need my.
I was using it the other day and I was like, why are my fingers hurting so bad? And it's because your blood goes right here. So it's like freezing. So right now I'm using this one.
Nice.
And you can't see it, but there's a little cat in there. And as you're typing, it plays the bongos for you based on the speed that you're typing.
I like that. Yeah.
I have this one, which is the letters are all blacked out as if, but this is called an Alice layout. So it keeps your wrist at a slightly different angle. Mm-hmm. And then, like this one. And so they're all different pressures and they're at different angles and they keep your hands moving in different ways.
You've now given me a reason to collect keyboards that is maybe practical enough that I'll greenlight that.
And there's even like this one.
I actually have seen that before. How does that work?
So each one of these can move in multiple directions. And so you just put your fingers on it and it's like, well, I need to do a K. So that's, this finger forward, or I need to do an A and that's this finger to the side, same finger, same button, but it's.
I've got that, but I haven't been able to retrain my brain to write with any speed on it.
You really have to go cold turkey. And it means you will have like a couple months where you'll be writing like shit.
Yeah.
And it's very slow. And I have not had time to do it. But I did test it for a couple of days where that was like the main keyboard I used. And, I was starting to get it. Like I could remember where the keys were and I didn't have to, like I had to think each time, but I didn't have to go look at the chart.
Yeah.
But that
thing's supposed to allow you to type like crazy speeds. But...
Yeah, but it's not going to work if you're not typing like normal words. Right? Like it's not going to be able to know how to spell Rand Elthor with like 16 extra sky commas.
Yeah.
And then like split keyboards, also good.
I thought about getting a split keyboard.
Especially like for anybody that's a little bit bigger in the shoulder, having a split keyboard is great because then you're not sitting like this to try to type on it. Being able to sit up straight and have that's great. I do have two of those. And then I also have like, the more traditional laptop-y style that are super thin. And I just rotate them out. But yeah, I have too many. Don't do what I did.
So I have a question, and I think we've got Rachel and Doug still in the audience too. But like, I actually have to use a keyboard even when I'm like at a coffee store or whatever because my laptop like cooks my fingers. Like, do you guys have that problem too with laptop keyboards where it just like cooks your fingers?
Yeah. So I get the least powerful laptop I can for my writing laptop purely because of that.
Yeah.
And so, I just have like a base MacBook Air and I don't have that problem anymore, but I used to.
I actually bought a bring your own key, a Biak, because then you just bring a keyboard and you just have this little...
I've got one over there.
Yeah.
I haven't used it that much.
I've never had my fingers fry while using my laptop keyboard, but I do, like, I'm using my laptop right now, and I prefer just plugging in my keyboard and a mouse, just because I don't like the laptop.
Look at my little fold out. Yep.
Mhm.
So you don't like your laptop layout? Is that
Hold
the?
on.
What?
I see one more keyboard. I'm just gonna be right back.
It's like keyboard show and tell.
I prefer just the, like, I like having a number pad too. Like, I know that doesn't come in to affect too much when you're writing, but actually it kind of does in lit RPG.
Yeah.
So, and
Your
just
books
the
aren't
feel
too
of them.
crunchy, but yeah. When you're counting blueberries. Oh, is that a mini? I can't handle the really small. Keyboards. They
Ortholinear, so your fingers move up, straight up and down.
Okay.
But yeah, I have. Just in case anyone at home wanted to see, this is what he was talking about. A little Bjork. It's a bring your own keyboard word processor, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little magnet on the back, so it can attach to stands.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
So it's like a
it just
digital
has a little
keypad?
text file. Yeah.
Well, there's no keyboard with this. So Bjork stands for bring your own keyboard. So you connect it either via Bluetooth or a cable to a keyboard, and then you type away on it.
Yeah.
Just go to town. Keep in a little container. And so, yeah, so I will take this to a Starbucks and write your stuff. Although lately I've been doing a lot more handwriting and then come home and type it in. So, like, old school.
Good Lord. Yeah. One of my good friends is an author, and she handwrites her first draft completely. It's like.
So I have experimented with a lot of different styles of writing, and I have noticed that for myself, there's like an inverse relationship between the speed that I can generate words and the quality I feel those words are and the amount of editing required and, we're post-processing. Right. So when I was dictating, I could maintain over like 130 to 150 words a minute for as long as I wanted to go. And so, I could, but it required so much editing after the fact.
Yeah.
Whereas if I write by hand, it's virtually none. Like I can go from literally from finishing a rough draft to publishing a book in like one day because there's no editing required.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
as slow as it may seem to write by hand, you wind up, I think, saving time in the end.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about the dictation, but I find that to be true also, that the dictation requires a lot of editing, and editing is one of my least favorite parts of being oh man. So yeah.
I mean, I even have a full-time editor and I don't like doing it.
Yeah. How about you, Matt? Any comments there? Have you tried dictation at all?
I think I've tried the like Microsoft built-in dictation, and yeah, I'm a pretty clean writer when I'm typing just on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I will occasionally skip a scene or a chapter if I know I'm getting stuck and it's like I want to preserve the momentum. I mean, sometimes it bites me in the butt. Sometimes it's just something you got to come back and write. But
dude,
since I'm so clean at writing, I don't want to mess that up by dictating, because it's just kind of like stuttering and trying to.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, you really do have to retrain the way that you speak to match the way that you write. It's not the same. Like sit down and it comes as free form.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to what Matt was just saying. Sorry, Arch Tamer was just saying. I did once skip something because I was stuck, and then completely forgot and like turned it into the editor, and it's like, I'm done. I'm never touching this book again. And like the next day, she's like, yeah, but what about chapter 84? And I was like, what about chapter 84? What's wrong with it? She's like, it's not there.
Wah, wah.
completely gone. It just literally had nothing, just a blank chapter.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, we're professionals.
So Matt, you write in Word. What do you write in, Eric? What's your
So I used to write in Scrivener, and I would continue to write in Scrivener, but the editor edits in Scrivener. So I got kicked out, and now I just write in anything, and then every couple of days I paste whatever
Paste
words I
into
have
Scrivener.
into it. So a lot of times it's Google Docs or the Bioc or kind of all sorts of random stuff, depending on where I am. And I don't really have a good office, so there's not like I don't have that like routine anymore. Um, I feel like there's a lot of ritual to writing as well. Like I know a lot of writers who like start their writing time with the same song every day.
or
It's like
Blueberry?
or Blueberry, like that turns their mind on and is like, now we are in writing mode. Or like light a candle. I knew someone that did a thing where they would write as long as the candle burned, um, stuff like that. And so these days I don't have it. My schedule is just kind of really crazy and all over the place. Um, so I tend to just grab whatever I can to write wherever I'm going to be. So um, I have this little setup, which is where I have all the keyboards and stuff, and then I have a laptop and an iPad with a keyboard, a Remarkable with a keyboard, and the Bioc, a couple of other, like I collect all these little gadgets. Always, there's going to be that gadget's going to come along,
It's
and
gonna
all of a sudden,
it's gonna be it.
the books will come flying out. But I tend to go back to pen and paper a lot, just because my brain works that way. It's not ancient and decrepit. Clearly, as turning into Santa Claus.
I want to say the talking about rituals and writing. So my office is, I don't have an office. I'm just writing in my bedroom most of the time. So I've been experimenting past week or two. I'll put on a headband, sweatband, where whenever I sit down to write, and I'm trying to train my brain to like, you only write when you got this headband on.
Nice. How's that going?
It's a work in progress. I need some more testing. I need to experiment more as we.
You could also try wristbands, like for tennis players. It also helps to give your wrists a little something extra if you are a poor typist like me and lean your wrists down on the desk.
Yeah, that's smart. Also, when you're in a coffee house, the wristband might attract less attention.
I mean, you might as well
Yeah.
go full like 70s tennis player. Just like let the hair grow down and then like have it like with the white headband right here. Perfect. Like little hair. Little wooden tennis racket. And pull out the portable typewriter.
Yeah. I am liking every part of that image.
Dude, I also loved writing with the typewriter.
I actually like the idea of like a headband or like some sort of just like visual cue to yourself or whatever. Like it's like touch and visual cue. I don't really have anything.
I think for me, while I love that idea because I have headphones on constantly, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I've got a writing playlist that I listen to on Spotify. It's called Goblin Goes to Work.
I love it. I actually, most times I build a Spotify playlist for every book that I write. Or I do also, I like finding soundtracks. The current one I've been listening to is to the not that great movie called War Machine, starring Alan Richardson, the guy who plays Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
The movie's kind of forgettable, but man, the soundtrack is intense.
The soundtrack's a banger. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like the most epic, like fantasy music, and it is out of like a modern propaganda military thing. But yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah. Well, we have definitely gone past the hour mark. So thank you for humoring me. This has been a great conversation. I'm just like fascinated. I needed to see all of your keyboards.
If you do have two authors, you're gonna wind up talking longer.
I know it's true.
Twice as
Yeah.
long.
I kind of want to see Matt's headband, but you know.
Can we see? Can we see the headband?
Yeah, I got two of them.
Oh yes.
We want to see both. Oh, I'm excited.
Let's see it. It has been fun, Gary.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Gary.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's actually not the tennis headband I was expecting. I like it.
This is my go-to. Whatever.
Very Nadal.
Uh-huh.
I hope he
I was
actually
thinking of
plays
like a
tennis.
white Nike, you know.
Oh yeah, like the
Yeah.
phone. Yeah, I have one.
It's more like this one's more like a do-rag almost.
I have one of those old school ones in my office right there, or my old office.
I get a picture. I get a text from Eric with this white Nike. I mean, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm still trying to train my brain. So,
I think that's
I only have two though. I don't have as many headbands as keyboards yet.
Yes,
but
you're young. You're just getting there.
See, the thing is we're just gonna start bringing you different headbands that we thought
that's right. We'll just start sending you. Get one that says
Archtamer. People are just gonna start giving me headbands at cons.
If people just started giving me keyboards at cons.
Victory.
Yeah, I'd love. Yeah,
I didn't really start getting into keyboards until like 2 years ago, and it was definitely like the shift as I was needing to type more and more and more, trying to find ways to make it fun or feel pleasant became more and more important. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And I would say, like, these are tools that we use every day and use a lot. So it does make sense to like try and customize it and make it more enjoyable, and not necessarily to shame yourself for trying to for spending money or time on it.
See, I think my keyboard might be haunted because it hasn't done it in a while, but every now and then like a key gets stuck and I'm like, it's not stuck, but the screen will just it'll just be like, oh, like a string of O's or a string of
desperately calling out for help. Take the tape off me.
Normally when that happens to me, it's my cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no cats when I'm typing, so that's
the
not
ghost cat. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but maybe you just need a new keyboard. My wife she finally got a new laptop the other year because she got tired of the E not working and the N not working and occasionally the shift not working. But it wasn't like one of those, all three. That was too much.
That was too much. Yeah.
And it's like you're having to like copy and paste an E over. Like
that
your
solution. Keyboard would have been flying out of my window.
Yeah. It's insane.
No. Well, let's just do a quick wrap up here. I guess the first thing is, what's next for the two of you this year? Obviously, we've got cons and stuff, but what's your next book or audiobook that's coming out?
So mine's probably easier, I guess. So Monster Tamer Academy 6 will be coming out probably in 2 to 3 months, and that's it. That's the final book of the series.
What's after that?
So we're gonna have a full series. Is it going to be before Lit RPG Con, you think?
Yeah, I would, because that's July, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm thinking May or June is when book 6 will come out, and then book 5 and 6 audio will be little later. But
you don't have to answer. But do you know what you're writing after?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of ideas, but I've got it narrowed down. I've never really told anyone. I workshopped the idea, but if you want like a one sentence premise, I can.
Only if you want to. You don't have to. No pressure. It's always fun.
I mean, a little bit of pressure.
See like the panic where it's like where they're like the author's totally lying and they have no idea what they're doing afterwards.
What
you're writing?
So yeah, I'm looking at it I typed it out so I wouldn't forget it because I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so it's basically a dragon is reincarnated into a human at a dragon slaying academy.
Ooh.
I like it.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm in.
Yeah. Another Academy book too. I like that.
Well,
we need more Academy books.
so
Maybe.
it might start in academy. I don't know if I'm gonna like.
I don't know if that dragon's gonna stay in the Dragon Slayer Academy. Yeah.
It's just,
a
well,
lot-
academy books they're
lot
so
of
like
self-loathing.
you're so confined to the story you can tell unless you jump out of the academy. But then it's no longer an academy book.
Look,
Yeah.
there are pluses and minuses to it. There is a lot of creativity that comes from having constraints, and it is difficult when all those rails come off, man. I will say that for sure. I wish that I had more books that were trope focused like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write
That's what I'm still trying to work on. Like
I'm writing an Academy book next.
How many books do we have to wait till we get to the Academy book, Eric?
Fuck, I don't know. Listen, the next book for me, I don't know. Hopefully the bad guys will come out this summer. That's what I'm hoping. And that'll be book 12. I still have to write a whole third leg for the guys that I haven't even started writing yet. That'll be a whole new one before getting to the point where
Is that in
the bigger
addition
story
to the
comes
Grim
out.
Guys, or-
The Grim Guys is completely separate to that. That is just like a side something. And there has been some talk about other like side projects in that world that don't attach to this big story. That are just like pockets of something funny happening or interesting happening, just like one-offs so that people can see more of that world. And so if there is enough interest, I might do one of those this year too. Someone was asking about there was like an investigator that goes off and they want that guy to have his own series called The Badge Guys.
We've got a theme.
Yeah. So I don't know that I will go and do that, but that's been talking. And then I have this project with Audible and I owe them this series. So I'm going to bang that out because I had some medical stuff that I had to pay for. And, you know, America, it's always a little expensive. And so once I get that done, then I can go back to the guys.
Yeah.
So 3 books, then write the bad guys. And then I don't know after that.
Then an Academy, and a named Academy series, right?
Right. It's going to be called Academy Quest. And it's going to follow this group of janitors that tries to unclog the toilets from these rich kids who do nothing but stay up all night and drink magic coffee and eat steak every day.
That sounds horrendous.
What about Janitor Academy? I don't think that's been done yet.
So yeah, there you go.
Dun, dun, dun.
First book is going to be called Clean Sweep.
Book 2, Unclogged.
Yep. Book 3,
We're
Mopping the Night Away.
That's right. Where are we gonna find you two? Jordan Con, Lit RPG Con, any other like in-person events?
Potentially Dragonsteel. Also, I do have to shout out the Boy Scouts of Tecumseh Lodge 65 because they bribed me with a big care package and an Eagle Scout patch and some other patches.
Wow.
To include some stuff in my next Good Guys book for them. So a big thank you to them. And also, you know, I could be bribed if you want the books to change.
Noted. Maybe a keyboard is in store for you.
I mean, dude, this was the best package I've gotten from a reader or a group of readers. Like, it was awesome. You know, they sent me 4 patches, including, like, does this make me an Eagle Scout? I think it does.
I think it does. I think you can put that on your resume now.
I know, you know, a Dungeon Master merit badge. I mean, come on. And then, you know, like a metric butt ton of popcorn.
So what more can you ask for? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's better than a keyboard because I can eat all the popcorn and then it's out of the house as opposed to the keyboards just keep somehow multiplying in here.
Yeah.
Spilled water on them after midnight or something.
How about you, Matt? Any other in-person events you're going to be at?
No, just Jordan Con and Lit RPG Con.
Yeah.
Maybe Dragon Con some year, but it kind of scares me. So
Pigeon
It's
Con.
Pigeon Con. No, nobody's going to Pigeon Con.
Neil.
All right. What's the best place to find you online? Discord, Facebook, Patreon.
I have a Discord. I don't know how to send people there, but then you can find it. And then I'm not very online, to be honest.
Yeah, I had to send a pigeon to get you to come on the podcast.
That's right. This whole thing is by pigeon right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Packets over.
I just want to give a shout out to the carrier pigeon monsters that are in Monster Tamer Academy. That it is a thing. Like that wasn't planned before this conversation. Like it's
a
thing.
That's awesome.
Dun dun dun. Yeah. How about you, Matt? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
So I'm pretty old school. Best way to get a hold of me is to join my mailing list, my reader list. You get a free Monster Tamer Academy prequel story. You get an update email from me at the end of each month that tells us what I'm working on. I might have a funny story or two, and I do quick little sketches of like characters, creatures, and places from my books. So you'll get to see a couple of those if you join my mailing list. And you can do that by going to my website at matthermannbooks.com. I try to keep my homepage updated too with what I'm working on. I have a Facebook page for my author business, but I keep forgetting it's there. So I might get around to revamping that or maybe not.
Same. I do have a Facebook page. I don't really ever go there. I do. If you do, I did a Reddit AMA like 3 years ago, but it's still tied to my email account. So if you do have a question that you really want answered, put it on my AMA and I get an email alert about it and I will go and answer it. That's not, I love this, the mailing list you got there. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the system I haven't set up. Like email lists.
Well, I feel like I've asked around and like a lot of Lit RPG authors don't worry about it. They just say that the Amazon follower thing is good enough, but I kind of
that more personal. Yeah.
I have been very lucky to have gotten decent word of mouth, and I have been able to kind of coast on that. And I probably won't be able to for much longer, but up until now, I've been able to just release books and people find them.
Dun dun dun. Hey, you're living the life, man.
Trying.
All right, last question for the both of you. We were trying to fill Pop's TBR. I think I'm gonna do some like end of the year, like here's all the books recommended by everybody. But what would be a book or two that you would recommend, not your own, that you'd recommend to put on Pop's TBR?
Does it need to be Lit RPG?
No.
How, like, what kind of reader is Pop?
He likes, I mean, he's a Lit RPG reader. He likes crunchy, post-apocalyptic sort of stuff, but he reads just about everything.
So there's a book called House of Leaves.
Yep.
Oh, is that already on there? I won't put it on there.
No, it's not already on there, but I have that book. I have not finished it, but I've poked at it a couple times.
It's really difficult, but very interesting. The other one that is not a Lit RPG is a historical fiction called Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield.
Oh, yeah.
And if you pretend it's fantasy, that it's not about a real group of people, that were definitely not like they are portrayed in this book, it's a phenomenal examination of brotherhood through war. Absolutely beautiful book. And then the other one, God, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna look it up. Go to Matt. I have one more.
Okay, Matt.
So I guess I'll give two, like a better, a more well-known one, and then like maybe a lesser known. So I'm re-listening to Iron Prince right now, the audiobook. I don't generally reread books just because there's so many books out there. Like I'm always wanting to read a new book. But this is like my third time rereading Iron Prince, and it's one of my top favorite books of all time. Audiobook's excellent, but if he hasn't read that, I'd suggest that. And for a lesser known book, Dark Lord of the Farmstead, it's like a real nice slice of life. It's not too crunchy, but there are some like game like mechanics, so that's a fun one.
All right. I will so the last book I would say would be The Killer Angels, which is a novel of the Civil War, of the 4 days around Gettysburg.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, he's a history buff, so he'll like that.
And then if we're going back to sort of like what this podcast is supposed to be about, there's a progression fantasy book called Ironbound by Andrew Givler. I read that recently and I really enjoyed it.
I love how I'm like, give me your favorite, like, book for Pop on his TBR, and every single time it's like 2 to 5 books per author. I love it. I mean, like, we're all readers, right?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I was reading today, and my daughter was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm working." And he's like, "It looks like you're reading." It's like, "Well, that's part of what I do. That's part of it. That's part of the job is reading." Yeah. So yeah, I read a ton. I'm always right now. I'm listening to a book, and I'm reading a book, ebook, and then I have a third physical book.
Yeah,
it's kind of always keep 3 books kind of going like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm listening to a book. I might be listening to 2 books. It depends. I'm actually like, my brain's getting antsy because all I've been able to do is, in this lead up to JordanCon, is listen or read like podcasts and like JordanCon authors, and I'm like, I need to read something else. So
are you wait? So are you reading a book? I want to hear what you guys are reading. It's time to judge you.
Dun dun dun. Okay. Well, Matt, what are you reading right now? While I'm looking up my. What am I reading?
So I think I mentioned I'm listening to Iron Prince again right now, and I just started Stumbling Up. So,
thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and before that, I was starting to read the Witcher series, the books, because I wanted to switch from RPG for a little bit. So I read the first 3 of those books. I just finished those, and now I'm, for my physical book or digital book, I'm going to Stumbling Up.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very cool. I just started Chaos Blade by AP Beswick, because he's the next guy on the interview schedule.
Oh, I love Adam. He's one of my. I absolutely adore him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talk to him. The book's awesome. And then on the digital side, I'm just having trouble keeping all the stuff straight. But like, I really want to read the next month Monster Tamer Academy, but it's gonna have to wait till after AP's book. But yeah, it's the next one in the Immortals by Jay Krause. I think it's I'm like 2 books behind, so it's, I don't know. It's the one. It's like Jade something, Jade Pavilion, or I don't know. Gary, do you know what that one is? And the Blood in the Sand by Casey Azell. Blood on the Sand. I got the art copy for that, so I'm also reading that digitally. So those are kind of my 3. I've got physical for Jay's book. I've got Blood on the Sand by Casey, and AP's Chaos Blade. So, but I think my next book is going to be a not-lit RPG. I need like a palate cleanser or something that's totally a nonfiction. I got a book at the used bookstore that's on like environmental consumption, and it's about like what's actually the better environmental choice, like the paper bag or the plastic bag, and like a bunch of that sort of decisioning, which I'm actually kind of excited to get into that, because I always have that like, is the water bottle really really a better healthy consumerist choice? Maybe I'll have some clarity. I know. I mean, I know water bottle's easy, but
yeah,
aluminum can or plastic bottle?
Aluminum, because aluminum can be recycled endlessly. Plastic cannot.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to like the bulk of aluminum these days is just recycled, because it's just so easy to recycle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, I guess I should answer my own question. I am physical reading. This big black box of doom is beginning to worry me. I am listening to Beware of Chicken, and then on the Kindle, I am finishing up A Soldier's Life.
Yeah, those are some solid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which book in Beware of Chicken and Soldier's Life are you on?
I'm 4 in Beware of Chicken. It's the tournament one. And then in Soldier's Life is they're stuck in the library. So that's that's book 4 as well.
Soldier's Life, that's always Rules of One, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's such a good series. I need to get back to it. I have like cursed with reading all these book ones. Like I just need to like. I'm actually my plan for Lit RPG Con is to get like
only
a
buy
ribbon.
book 2s.
Well, I'm gonna get a ribbon or like a medal or something. So if you've completed a series in between now and the last Lit RPG Con, then you get like you get a ribbon.
The completionist ribbon.
Yeah, the completionist ribbon. Like congratulations.
Is that for writers and readers?
That's okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then maybe you get like like 1 or 5, and just have like a. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's a good call, Eric. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Maybe you just have two different ribbon colors. Writers get a white one, and readers get a red one, or something.
I think this is going to be a thing that's going to happen. Yeah.
Or challenge coins. You can introduce series completion challenge coins.
Well, that's why I was asking you, Matt, if you're going to finish before Lit RPG Con, because I'm going to have to. You're going to get a ribbon or a challenge coin or some sort of
challenge headband,
some sort of loot. Yeah.
Theoretically, I should be done with this series for Audible by then, because it's only 3 books.
There you go.
I like how we say that, like that's the small thing here. Oh yeah, no trilogy. That's
3 books. Is walk in the park. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. I've actually got like now more plans for DornCon. I'm gonna have to, brush up on my sword.
Yeah, I want to see this. I want
to. You represent us all, so no
That's
pressure.
Right. I'm gonna get Brian and Aaron, and we're gonna. Yeah, Lit RPG is gonna take over the Blade Master.
We gotta bring some pigeons, hide them around the place.
And we gotta bring some pigeons, and some blueberries.
Pigeon cone.
Well, thanks so much for joining you. Thanks everybody. My next interview is actually, I believe it's AP Biswick. I know Aaron and Melissa had to reschedule because they had some personal stuff pop up, but I haven't actually rescheduled them yet. So I'll let you all know. But AP on April 6th, and that'll be fun. It'll be exciting.
Awesome.
Chaos Blade.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Thanks so much for joining us, and see y'all at JordanCon.
Now, do we awkwardly pause if it's a freeze frame?
I mean, yeah, you can make whatever